Greetings, good life. Today I'm going to continue reading more of my Benevolent Magic blog for you. This was originally posted on October 11th of 2005. It's called Awakening, the New Birthing Process. Our awakening as a people is almost complete in terms of the beginnings of the totality of the awakening of all peoples on earth. Some have been alerted earlier than others, but this is acceptable, and others have been allowed to sleep longer, so to speak. There is no competition, but rather it is a case of the preference of the souls. When the souls, all souls on earth, come here, they have an opportunity to choose when they would like to begin merging the greater portion of their soul into their physical bodies on earth. And before then, you have a small portion. In terms of percentage, I can actually provide that for you. The portion of your soul energy in your physical body, as you might say, it has been in the past, on average, does not exceed more than 3%. And this is because the conditions on earth have not been favorable for complete immersion of the soul into the physical self. Your souls are very delicate, and life on earth is not always so delicate, as you all well know. So what is actually occurring then, now when I talk about the awakening, and as you've read with others who use terms that are similar to that, is that the percentage of energy, or you might even call it commitment, by your souls has increased. Right now, for those who have begun to awaken more, or have been in the waking up stage for some time, does not exceed 9%. And those who are beginning to wake up has begun to move to a solid 3 to 3.5%. It is during those early stages, the 3 to 3.5%, where one sees a certain restlessness in the soul or spirit. If you feel a restlessness from time to time, this is largely because you're either, let's say, your soul is beginning to make a greater commitment to be on earth, or you are around others, many others, who are doing that. But there is no one on earth anymore who is fully asleep. And by asleep, meaning that the percentage of the soul in your body is slightly less than 3% or perhaps 3%. Soul's desire to achieve full 100% commitment into your physical body, and that overall desire, of course, supported by Creator, is working now, and the striving towards that has begun to pick up momentum. Don't be confused by world events. As you know, the most beautiful babies and the most joyful and loving mothers do go through a birthing process that is not always much fun. In fact, sometimes very difficult and painful for mothers. I do not think that most fathers fully understand or grasp that. Even for someone you love dearly, it is hard to take on their pain, nor would I necessarily recommend it. I feel that all loving fathers ought to at least once be with their wives or loved ones who are going through the birthing process, so they can fully grasp and be compassionate towards the birthing process and what your loved one is going through, and to appreciate the struggle involved in bringing this beautiful being into the world. It has always been directly a paradigm provided by Creator to remind you that the birthing process of the commitment of all your souls to be here in 100% form will be a birthing process. So don't be baffled, or don't be, if you would, depressed about the global situation. The birthing process has begun in earnest now, and none of this is associated in any way with the term false labor, as it is applied in a birth which is not fully engaged. It won't be as long as you think, but it will be a little longer than was once planned. And this is because in order to provide the best possible birth with the most wonderful outcome, all souls, naturally, need to participate. Recognize that you will be helped. There are, even now amongst you, children who have the capacities, simply by being, simply by existing, you understand, to broadcast wonderful energy. And these children exist the world over. Those who are around the children regularly can feel it. All children are treasures, and yet these children will broadcast a certain energy that is buoying to all human beings. And when they are around other children of their same age, they will tend to activate that resonance in those children as well. And even though that resonance in those children will not be on a full-time basis, it will tend to continue for at least 12 hours in that child. So in the case of a regular daycare situation, or a loving family situation, or simply friends, relatives, children being together, you understand, if this is a regular thing, then the wonderful energy will broadcast in a greater way. I will say more about this as time goes on, but I wanted to give you this update so that you will not become depressed about the world situation. Do the best you can. Live as benevolently as possible. Don't jump to conclusions about your friends, family, and neighbors, and be discerning for your safety and for the safety of those you love and those whom you are watching over. This difficult time will pass, and someday all your souls will be in your bodies for all of us on earth, in this most benevolent way that we all have in the stories that we know as heaven. Earth is a repository and a welcomer of heaven, and even Earth herself will look different when that occurs. I will talk more about these things in the future. For right now, I will say good night and good life.